underclassmen, welcome to our senior advice video where you can hear some of the senior class of 2021's best advice for navigating through high school.
This year we'll be featuring advice from 8 different seniors with a variety of paths ahead of them. So let's get started.
Hi, I'm Joshua Kim and I'll be going to the U.S. Naval Academy.
Hi, my name is Isabela Britton and I will be studying kinesiology at Foothill College next fall.
After high school, I'm going to Johns Hopkins University and I'm going to study chemical and biomolecular engineering.
So I'm Ethan and I'm going to be attending Ford University at San Diego State.
Hi, I'm Navya. I plan to study English at UC Davis.
Hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm going to play soccer and my major is undecided for Columbia University.
Hi, my name is Emma and I'll be studying musical theater at Cornell College of the Arts.
Hi, my name is Austin Tong. I'm going to be studying film production at DePaul University in Chicago.
I plan to attend a 4-year arts college in Seattle, and then after that, hopefully get some experience in the musical theater industry.
After high school, I plan on attending DePaul University for 2 years. During my time at Limerick, I was in the middle college and college now program, so I was able to fulfill enough credit to get my associate's degree at De Anza by the end of my senior year in film production, so that allowed me to bring those credits over to my 4-year university, and I plan on studying the film production at DePaul and utilizing a lot of the networking and connections in Chicago for film, such as SinSpace Chicago.
So I'm planning on going to 4-year college, military academy, graduate from there, and then hopefully go to med school, and then I'll be an officer in the Navy for 5 to 12 years.
I'm planning on finishing my undergraduate at UC Davis, studying for 4 years, and then hopefully afterwards I'm going to get a teaching degree and go into getting my student teaching done and become a teacher at a high school.
After college, I plan on opening my own community center for people with special needs, with a big kitchen, so then we can do special activities and just have fun. I chose to go into kinesiology because it gave me a chance to work with people and do physical therapy, and it just had other options with things that I enjoy doing, like sports and just working with my hands. And that way I can still pursue my passions and have a job.
I became more interested in biology after freshman year, and I participated in some science competitions. But what really made me decide to pursue engineering was that I went to a summer camp in the summer of 2019 before my junior year. It was about biotechnology, and that made me realize the differences between science and engineering, in that engineering applies scientific discoveries into practical applications, and I was more interested in that, so that's what I applied to as my major for college, and that's what I intend to pursue in the future.
I realized that I wanted to study musical theater about 2 years ago. My parents never really pushed me in a specific direction. They kind of wanted me to figure out what I wanted to do. So I attended the summer program where you studied theater for 4 weeks straight, super immersive, and I met a lot of really cool people, and it made me realize that I really liked learning in that kind of concentrated observatory environment about a subject that I really cared about.
From a young age, my parents have instilled a strong sense of value in education in me, and so I've always wanted to go to college after high school, and I played soccer since I was little, and that kind of opened doorways that I didn't know would be available, and that actually led me basically to going to a school as well.
I chose to go down film production. When I was younger, I didn't really know too much what I wanted to do, but I was really into any type of media making, especially making music videos and just singing for fun. And through that, I had to learn how to make videos for myself, and I got behind the camera and I started learning that process. And as I got into high school, I got more serious about it. I started shooting around for school, and then I attended a summer program at USC for directing and producing with Walt Disney Studios, and that really opened my eyes up to filmmaking. In my time at high school, I joined film club, I was in ASB Tech, and I really liked doing all types of media. I really realized when I wanted to go into film production when I saw the creative aspect and how I could use my tools. as a filmmaker to tell stories and also make just creative content. I really liked making commercials, music videos, as well as taking photos, and that was something that I really want to work towards. And now I've been able to work with clients all around in the Bay Area, as well as produce my first feature film with a $300,000 budget.
So I decided to go to the Naval Academy because it's a top-tier education. It's world class, especially in the STEM field, which is where I'm hoping to major in. And I'm also getting recruited for Division I lightweight rowing. That played a big part into my college decision. And after college, I'm hoping to go to med school because as a child, I was in hospitals a lot because I was born with a spinal condition. So all the doctors there made me feel safe and comforted, and I hope to do the same thing.
I would say that it was mainly junior year where I kind of started really reflecting and like thinking about kind of what I wanted to do for the future. And I really started like looking at what subjects I really enjoyed, and I'd been studying Appalachian that year, and I really got into it because I really enjoyed like seeing the different layers that a single piece, like a book or a movie, could have. And I started like thinking about my previous years and like who really made an impact on me, and a lot of that was my teachers. So I started really considering a path in education.
I decided to apply early decision to Johns Hopkins because it best fit what I was looking for in a college. I wanted to go to college somewhere that was in a city and a school that was strong in STEM but also in other areas in case I decided to do something else. I also like that Johns Hopkins wasn't too large of a school because I think that gives me full flexibility with changing my major and also with smaller class sizes. And I decided to apply early decision because it best fit what I wanted and I would have the best chance of being accepted there. I chose chemical and biomolecular engineering because I didn't want to work in academia or become a professor after college, so I think engineering gave me the best chance to find a job after college. And I was also interested in that engineering is the application of science, and it's really using science to solve the problems that there are. So I was interested, and I was also interested in biology. So that's why I chose my major as chemical and biomolecular engineering.
So I mainly base it on location because I like California. It's like nice and sunny. So most of the colleges that I applied to was in-state. And after I found the location, I just searched up good colleges that had a strong business program. And then I decided to major in marketing because I had this small business that I wanted to improve, and I thought that doing something in the business field will help me improve that.
I chose the college that I wanted to go to based on the curriculum and whether they're like the different aspects of the program, like singing, dancing, acting, how strong they were, and how they fit me. And I chose like a college in general. My mom and I had a list of like 50 that we narrowed down to I think like 13. And then the results came back, and then I had to pick. And it was based on the elements that I said before.
I applied to Columbia because I had been speaking with the coaches and kind of had like an agreement. I was like a recruit for them, so I didn't apply to other schools because I had basically agreed to apply to Columbia. I wasn't exactly sure what school I wanted to really put all my efforts into, kind of like a dream school, until I went to an ID camp at Columbia in New York. And it is really important, I think, to, if you can, visit a school that you're interested in, because just stepping foot on campus can tell you a lot about whether you think you can envision yourself there and what you think you can do there. So I went to the camp, and that was really the first time where I was like, oh, I really want to go to this school. And in addition, I met the coaches and players on the team, and seeing the kind of interactions and posters that they had, that made me really think that I wanted to play on the team there as well.
I was getting recruited, so I only had to apply to, I think, 7 or 8 schools in total, but it was really just 4 applications because of the UCs. And I just looked at what schools offered the majors I wanted, and then I visited them, and if I liked them, I applied to them.
I would say that I got pretty lucky. I have an older brother, so I talked to him a lot, and I talked to some upperclassmen friends about kind of how they went about the college process, and they talked a lot about like evaluating your own priorities, whether it be weather, location, major as well, or just like the vibe of the place. And I kind of went about that, but also for like an English major, specific colleges have like varying degrees of concentrations. I definitely wanted to like look into that because, for example, Davis, they kind of have 3 paths that you can go down for an English major, and education/teaching is one of them.
Because I chose to go to a community college, I didn't have to like write an essay or do like any college apps, but I did have to like actually apply to college, and I chose Foothill because it had the kinesiology. But also before I wanted to go to Mission because they had a really good culinary program, and I really wanted to open my own cafe. But by doing kinesiology, I can still like work with food with having a big kitchen at the community center and do both.
My essay writing process went really well actually. My friends and I, we would like hop in like a Discord call and write like for hours. We'd have like hour-long like chunks of just writing time, and then we would go through each other's essays and like critique and edit. So it was really good to have the support of my friends. And as far as content, I focused on different aspects of my life. I tried to give them an image of who I was like as a whole, rather than, you know, just like my academic classes or just the arts. I think I wrote about like physics class, and then like my involvement with GSA. Of course, I wrote about theater, and I think about lit class as well.
For my essay writing process, it wasn't too long or drawn out. I think colleges want to see like what you are as a person, not just in regards to your activities. And for my application, they already knew I was applying as a recruit, so even though soccer was like a big part of me, like outside of school and my activities, I didn't write about that, and it's like recommended not to write about your sport if you're applying as an athlete. So I did write about like anecdotes and clubs that I've been a part of for a long time to try to give college like a greater sense of who I am like off the field.
So for me, for the essay process, it was intimidating, definitely. I started my junior year writing, thinking, brainstorming a little bit about the UC prompts because they don't really change that much, and that really helped me because I know me as like someone who will wait till the last minute and then give something that's not the best. I wanted to start as early as possible, so I really started thinking about all the things that highlighted who I was and what I wanted to talk about in those essays. So sometimes I would just jot down some ideas that I might want to talk about, or just have like a rough sketch. And I spent a lot of time in the summer doing that, so that by the time I came into high school, my senior year, I wouldn't have to be as stressed about that. And some things that I talked about in my essays that helped me like stand out, I just touched on a lot about my filmmaking, as well as my opportunities in education to take classes at community college, and how it really opened my mind up to a larger lens and viewpoint than like high school would provide me, as well as my leadership in working as like a martial arts instructor, and then just some of my own personal experiences in life.
I would kind of say that it was a little bit of like a development for me personally. I kind of had to figure out what was working best for me, and I started realizing that I'm a pretty pent-up person, in the sense that like if I try to tell myself to sit down and just do something, it's not gonna work. So I usually like tried to go out for a jog, or I would come back from field hockey practice and I would write then, because I was really relaxed. And sometimes like for me, like personally, I tend to overthink everything. So having that kind of taken away from me, and being super tired really helped me like just write. And that definitely helped. And I tried to look into things that kind of I could look at from multiple perspectives. For example, hockey, it's not just the sport, it's kind of everything that the team taught me and everything I got to learn from them. So I kind of channeled that when I was definitely writing, and just like anything I knew about, but also I didn't know about. Because because I feel like the writing process was just like discovering new things every day about yourself.
I had 6 or 7 different drafts for each essay, and I would get them edited by professionals and my parents, and I focused mostly on leadership and service hours that I did.
If I could do high school over again, I would like just take more risks and join more things. Like I would join like the plays or musicals, or just like be part of homecoming and just put myself out there more instead of like sheltering myself. And then also just like advice for like underclassmen, like everyone learns at their own pace, and just like it's okay to be like different in what you learn, and you don't have to go to a 4-year. You can just like take whatever path you want.
I would definitely choose to not take such difficult classes that weren't related to what I wanted to study. Obviously I didn't know, but if I had known, I would not have taken like Algebra 2 Trig and Physics Honors, I think were the 2 classes where I really struggled. They gave me a lot of stress and anxiety over sophomore and junior year, and they weren't really relevant to what I'm doing now.
If I could do high school differently, I think I would try not to limit myself so much, because I think a lot of times I was afraid of applying for officer positions or trying new things because I thought I wasn't qualified enough. In those cases, I found out that I actually could be capable, and a lot of times with trying new things or doing things that I haven't done before, it's about growing there rather than already being qualified or being able to do something. Another thing that I would do differently would be to really spend more time with people rather than studying, because I think that's a lot more valuable and a better use of your time when you're in high school and you have the time and the people around you to connect with.
I definitely try new experiences and stick with things I'm already doing, and only let go of it if I'm 100% sure that I don't want to continue anymore, just because you don't want to have regrets.
I'm grateful that COVID-19 didn't impact my life in drastic ways that it did for others. I'm thankful that my parents still have their job, I'm still in school, and I'm still able to focus on school. And during this time, I was actually able to utilize all this free time by taking extra classes at De Anza, taking on extra jobs, and just using this time to focus on what I wanted to do and learn more skills. So for me, I really utilized this time and I grew as a person. I'm really grateful that I had all this extra time. I think for underclassmen who went through this process, it definitely probably shook your high school experience, but everybody had something happen to them. So I think in your college writing process, or just looking forward, just see how you can go forward from this. How can you learn from this experience? Just see the positive things that probably came out of this experience. Maybe you learned more things. Maybe you're able to spend more time with your family, and you can really touch up on that for like college as well, because they'll definitely ask, how has COVID-19 impacted your life? A lot of people are going to say, oh, school, all these other things, but you could definitely touch on like if you did a lot of self-growth, or if you just worked on yourself, made new connections, learned something new, and see how you can use COVID-19 or this pandemic, this experience, as something positive going forward.
So COVID has really made me very thankful for the people who I have in my life, because with like quarantine and everything, I couldn't see everyone as often anymore. And then now that I'm going to college, I won't be able to see my friends and family very often. So some advice I'd give would be to cherish the time that you have right now, just because in the future you may not be able to see them as much, since you guys might take different paths.
I would say that COVID definitely, I kind of went through a lot of phases where I would be like super lonely, even though there were plenty of people surrounding and supporting me. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people kind of go through those moments, whether it be really long or short stretches. My kind of advice is like, just reach out to your friends or just anyone you want to talk to, because I think that you'll find that you're really not alone. And I think just like being able to kind of have discussions about random things at random times, even though this is such a it's a really crazy process doing college apps, but like having that type of like being able to sit away from it as well is really important. So that's kind of my main advice. And also just you know, have faith in yourself, honestly. Like, one thing someone said to me right before my college apps process started was like, just have faith in something, because there's going to be people who have faith in you, and you, like, even if you don't have the most belief in yourself right now, it's going to be over before you know it.
I think Lynbrook has really great resources for the essay writing process for colleges, and one big thing that I think really helps me was submitting my essay to the counselors, because our counselors actually will review your essays and go over them and tell you based on like their experience, because they've been doing this process for a really long time. They'll tell you like what they think you should improve or even change, and they can even tell you whether the like sense and direction of your like main story would work or not. So they can definitely help you out, and they can let you know if they think like your theme is overused, or if you have like a strength somewhere else that you should focus on. So definitely make use of that resource.
So for people who want to follow down the film production path, I urge you to just start early, start whenever you can. Even if you don't have the most expensive gear or equipment, you can literally just start with your iPhone, go shoot stuff, learn everything like on YouTube and iMovie. It's really useful because film school is great, but really it's about, one, your creativity, and then two, just like your skill, and a lot of that skill you can learn online as well. So if you're really driven and you're hungry and you're passionate, then get a couple of your friends together, start making films, start exploring, and then if you do choose to go down to film school, then just be ready to work together with teams, be able to communicate with people, and build that network of people who you can go to for advice, help, gear, and just fun on set.
I think one specific piece of advice that I would have is that if you want to do like academic related competitions, I find that it's a lot more valuable to go for ones that provide you with experiences rather than test taking, because I think test taking and studying is a really individual activity. That's something that you could do for school anyway, and a lot of times those sort of competitions, in my opinion, don't really encourage like a deep exploration of the subject. It's more of learning how to take the test. So I would say if you do want to participate in competitions, it's better to look for ones that give you an experience and really allow you to experience and explore the subject rather than just sitting down and taking a test.
I had a very long and complicated process in order to get admitted into the Naval Academy. And so if you want to learn more about my experience going and applying to a service academy, you can reach out to me over Instagram or Snapchat or something like that. And if you want to learn more about Division I athletics and getting recruited in college, you can do that too.
I would definitely say like a great part about being in a school is that you have plenty of teachers around you. So if you ever want to go and hear their stories, I personally listen to quite a couple of my teachers, and I got to see their varying experiences and kind of how they went down the path that they did, and I think that that's really a great thing. And also I think it's really important to just not limit yourself and not feel super trapped, because sometimes like if you're majoring in a subject, it can kind of be like, where am I going to go with this? And I think that one of my friends was saying to me, she was like, you know, the major is one thing, but you can figure out in the flow. So that's kind of what I would say. Yeah.
Although progressing through high school and entering the world beyond may seem daunting, just know that we're all going through it together, and you always have the support of older students like the seniors featured in this video to reach out to.
We hope the senior advice video from the class of 2021 shed some light on a few paths you can take. The possibilities are endless, so good luck in the next few years.